Hey there, I'm St-Pierre. So let's start with a quick announcement. I just launched my new course on Go. So it's called Build a Google Analytics in Go. So basically, this is a hands-on course where I am basically building a full website analytics in Go. And there's TypeScript. There's some database deep dive with Postgres and ClickHouse. We are, displaying why the Postgres might not be the right choice for in analytics tools in Go, and we are making sure that our application is scaling to a lot of requests per second and whatnot. So if you are interested in that sort of things, there's a link in the description below. So let's start. Handling environment variables. So, it seems like a simple topic. Lots of people might say, but there's multiple ways to do that. I can see that there is still a reason, or not, maybe not a reason, but there is still some small projects that do, only have a couple of environment variables and whatnot, and they are either using a manual ways, or maybe a bash script. I've seen that bash scripts pass around to all the developers, and that is good. Another way is obviously the .env file that could be a little bit easier to get started, or at least to pass around here and there. So that's mainly what I use. So an environment variable with no dependencies. So there's multiple packages out there, like .env, for example, in Go, that that will help you manage the .env file, making sure that it's loading the things and whatnot. So personally, I kind of prefer to not use any dependencies for such things. The main reason for me is because I'm using a Makefile. So basically, I like to import the environment variable file and export all the variables in the file directly available to the currently running shell process of Make, if you will. So any kind of make command that you have on the Makefile, is it a build, is it a start or a test or anything like that, then the environment variable will always be loaded. So I find that this is just working for me. It's something that prevents me from having to have any kind of dependencies, and also since I'm already using Makefile, well, it's simple. If you're not using Makefile, then it's a super old technology. I recognize, and I kind of also recognize that younger developers might not want to use it and whatnot. But it's still out there. It's still on all Linux platform. It's on Mac OS as well by default. I'm pretty sure about that, but. And on Windows, if you're not using the subsystem for Linux, then I would highly recommend to check that, because you will just discover some new things and whatnot, and the make command is kind of great. We will see that. I'm planning on releasing more video more often on my channel, so I'm kind of restarting this. But suffice to say that, yeah, once you have this environment variable and we have our Makefile, then yeah, this kind of things can just be simple, just like that. Imagine that we would have a package named config, for example. We could have an exported type in there with all the variables that we need in our application, and we just have two functions basically that are exported, and one for loading those variable, and one for returning a private variable, a private package variable. So again, this is sort of a singleton, if you will. If you're coming from more .NET and Java background and things like that, this could be recognizable as a pattern, maybe ish, I guess. But the point is, do we need a third party for such a small thing? Even if your application is going to have multiple environment variables, it's still well, I think it's still fairly simple to do that, and yeah. So I mean, how would you call some variable from an external Go package? And well, it's just a matter of importing the config package that you created, calling the load function. This is important, and after that you call the get function, and you have access to this config data struct that we created, and now you do have access to all the environment variable, and it is it is pretty straightforward to do that. So what about strongly type or say a more safety way? It's funny because I don't really have much environment variable that I've seen in my career so far that are just not straight strings. I don't know. I do not really have much Boolean or integer values and things like that I've seen so far. And even when that happened, I mean there's not much. I mean I would bet that most of your environment variable are strings already, because I don't know. It seems to be what I've seen. So I guess that. I don't know. It's potentially wrong that for me to assume that. I don't know, but it feels like even if we were to have a send emails, variable that would be a Boolean-ish, for example. So it's still going to be the true value will still be in a string type, if you will. So I mean, if you want to have a Boolean field in your structure, then it's it's just a matter to just do that. And I could just have done that directly into the structure itself. I mean, I've created a send email variable in here, but there's no need to do that, and I just realized that as we speak. But the point is, I mean, this would give you some kind of type safety and whatnot, and we could have raised an exception at this moment if there if you're having integers or any kind of other type, you could try to load them in here. But yes, I mean, at this point, if this is distracting, or this you are having a lot of environment variables that are not strings and you don't want to parse them and things like that, then yes, I mean, bringing a third party now would probably make sense for you and things like that. So I guess it depends. So am I against third-party dependencies? No, absolutely not. It's not the point. It's not the point that I want to leave it in this video. I think my point is sometimes we tend to complicate our lives a little bit, and we tend to bring some dependencies that might not be really needed after all. And if you need that, it's totally fine. I mean, like I said, there's no good or wrong answer in here. The point is, I like to start very, very simple. This is what Go is all about, in my opinion. To be frank, basically it's like start simple, start with the standard library, and if you find that something is missing, then yes, at this moment bring some dependencies. So it's kind of I'm not against third party at all. I'm against bringing dependencies like blindly into a project because it sounds cool, or because it seems to be that it would help and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I mean, I really like to bring dependencies when I know that I'm going to use them, and I don't want to write the functionalities that they are bringing. So in my case, parsing a couple of environment variable is not very long, and it's not I don't want a third party dependency just for that. So enough. That's the video for today. Like I'm saying, I will restart to post frequently. So I guess if you are interested, and if you have any question, if you want me to cover some topics, so yeah, I'm a good developer. I do lots of things in other languages as well. So this channel is not necessarily 100% dedicated to Go, but I mean, it's certainly a major part. I also host the Go podcast, so if you are interested in that, I will also leave a comment in the comment below. Thank you, and see you next time.